in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, the topic is role of youth in social service. But before I will go on my main topic, I would like to inform you that today is the World Braille Day. World Braille Day is observed on January 4th every year to mark the birth anniversary of Louis Braille, the inventor of Braille language. Braille, who was born on this day in 1809 in France, is credited for developing Braille language for blind and visually impaired people. Braille is a tactile representation of alphabetic and numerical symbols using 6 dots to represent each letter and number and even musical, mathematical, and scientific symbols. The first World Braille Day was celebrated on January 4th in 2019 after it got approval from the United Nations General Assembly via a proclamation in November 2018. Braille, a Frenchman, had lost his vision at early age in an accident. However, the accident could not stop him as he continued his studies and obtained a scholarship to France Royal Institute for Blind Youth. India currently has around 12 million blind people against 39 million globally, which makes India home to 1/3 of the world's blind population. As chairman of Organ Donation India Foundation, I appeal everyone to pledge to donate their eyes to remove blindness from the world. Now coming to the main topic, that is the role of youth in social service. Social services are a range of public services provided by the government, private profit, and non-profit organizations. These public services aim to create more effective organizations, build stronger communities, and promote equality and opportunity. Social services include the benefits and facilities like education, food subsidies, healthcare, police, fire services, job training, and subsidized housing adoption, community management, policy research, and lobbying. Religion and philosophy have tended to provide frameworks for the conduct of social welfare. The history of social work is very ancient. The edicts of the Buddhist emperor Ashoka in India, the socio-political doctrines of ancient Greece and Rome, and the simple rules of the early Christian communities are only a few examples of systems that addressed social needs. Jane Addams was the first, most famous and decorated female social worker. She founded one of the world's first settlement houses, the renowned Hull House in Chicago, and received the 1931 Nobel Peace Prize. In India, the colonial state appointed the sanitation commissioners in 1880 in the 5 British provinces. The Plague Commission was also appointed in 1896. In the year 1905, Mr. Gopal Krishna Gokhale established Servants of India Society. It was first attempt by an Indian in the form of organized social work. The professional social work began with the establishment of Sir Dorabji Tata Graduate School of Social Work, now known as the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, in the year 1936 under the leadership of Clifford Manshard, an American missionary. I am the last defense, the lone voice, a fighter, a listener, a helper, a healer. Say it loud, say it proud, I am a social worker. And today, to discuss the role of youth in social services, we have our chief guest with us, and she is Miss Devpriya Uksa. Miss Devpriya is MBA in HR and Marketing. She is a renowned social worker at Jhansi. Since last 2 decades, she has devoted herself to work for the cause of uplifting the living conditions and education standard of the underprivileged section of the society living in slums and rural areas. She is running 3 centers for these children wherein they get quality education along with focus on good nutrition. She is working for women empowerment by collaborating with other community agencies in helping families in need. She is also running a vocational center for ladies. She won many awards and distinctions like the Best Assistant Governor of Rotary in 2016-17, Sanskar Bharati Award in 2016-17, Virangana Jhansi Award in 2018, COVID Warrior Award in 2020, and many more. So I would like to invite and welcome Ms. Devpriya Aksa on our show. Ms. Devpriya, you know, today everyone wants the social workers very badly, and especially the last year, the 2020, which was a very bad year because of the pandemic. And definitely the social workers, the NGOs have done a lots of work during that time. And as in your profile, it is mentioned that you won the COVID Warrior 2020 award also. So we would like to know from you the role of youth in social services. Ms. Devpriya Uksa, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Goyalji. It's like a privilege for me to be a part of your program. And a very happy New Year to everyone present here. बात कुछ यहाँ से शुरू करती हूँ. हम एक ऐसे समाज में रहते हैं जहाँ सुंदरता को रंग से देखा जाता है, शिक्षा को मार्क्स से देखा जाता है और सम्मान पैसा देखकर दिया जाता है. In this kind of society, where is the place for social workers? And अगर किसी को ये भी कहा जाए कि आप अपनी एजुकेशन सोशल प्रोफेशन में लेकर आइए, I think so. It would be a little hitch for people. They won't consider it to be a pride where MBA, doctors, engineers have given an upper side. Social worker को कभी उतनी एक मुकाम मिला ही नहीं शायद, इसलिए हम में से कभी किसी ने सोचा ही नहीं कि हम इस प्रोफेशन में आए, इसको प्रोफेशन बनाए. आज का डिस्कशन में एक छोटी सी स्टोरी से शुरू करूंगी. When I'm basically from Bhopal, as told by Goel ji, now I'm in Jhansi, but I'm basically from Bhopal. And an incident really touched my life, which promoted me or motivated me to work in this sector. I met a lady and I was writing a small story on her because she was a little different from other ladies. Kranti was her name. When I asked Kranti from where you are, she told me, I'm from Maharashtra. So I asked her, what do you do? I teach other ladies. And I was really shocked. She is from a slum and she's just educating other ladies. So I asked, what motivated you to do that? Didi, I have a story and a very bad story to tell. Like, why you are saying a bad story? Because I'm a mother and I tried to kill my child. That was really very surprising how a mother can kill his own baby. Then she told me that when I gave birth to my third daughter, my husband asked me to leave the house. I was in the hospital and nobody came to meet me and nobody was ready to accept me. Then my own brother came and asked, I had a talk with Jijaji and he's ready to take you back in the home if you kill your child and don't let this baby be alive anymore. And that was really very difficult for her to accept. I have given a birth to this child and now my family is asking me to kill the child. Then she thought, it's very difficult to survive in this world without a family. So she took a decision and she went back to the family. And it was a cold night when she kept the baby outside the house and sat on the door, thinking that the whole night if the baby is lying on the bed, she won't be able to survive. And on the next day, the ex-husband is going to accept him. But destiny was preparing something else for her. Lying whole day, whole night in that freezing cold, the baby didn't die. And that motivated her to step out. And she took her 3 daughters from that house and shifted to Bhopal. And then she started a mission where in a slum she started staying, she started educating other females. And after listening to this story, when such ladies who are not that educated want to empower other ladies and want to really work for the society, why we people who are educated, young, can't do anything for the society? Then I started a small NGO there where I used to educate and give them work, where they used to stand on their feet and take care of the family. After getting married and getting into Jhansi, again that thing was like a taboo. When you get married to a very good family, nobody wants you to go and work in a slum. And again, I stopped working. But again, one more incident really touched my heart. When one of my friend from US came to Jhansi, and she was an American, and took her to Orcha to visit Ram Mandir. Just I asked her, you go and have a look at the market site. I'm coming. I'm just going to park my vehicle and I would be back. It just took me 2-3 minutes to do that. And when I reached there, there was around 5 to 6 kids who have surrounded that lady, and she was really in shivering. Why? Because she gave, seeing one of the child in torn clothes, she gave her 500 rupees. And other child rushed to that lady that even we want 500 bucks, we want 500 bucks. I just managed to take that lady back to the car and back to home and try to make her comfortable. And she just said one thing: how come somebody leave the children in the street like this, and how can somebody, and nobody cares about it? These lines of her really touched my heart. How can people leave their kids on the street and nobody cared for them? Why? I couldn't think. Why? Why? That why was again and hitting my mind. Why never shocked me? Because I'm an Indian. And social injustice is so rampant in India that we take it as like it's India. It keeps on happening. Then I decided, being in Jhansi, we don't need to move out to any small village to do social work. Can't we do in our own city? I tried to find out some of the slums in Jhansi, where I promoted education, where I gathered kids and tried to make them study, because education is one thing which can really change the society. We live in a democratic country, but we never try to do anything which really makes a difference. Why? This why never pinches us, because the same thing I told you, the rampant thing that we are Indians, ये तो होता ही है, हमने तो जिंदगी यूं ही देखी है. But after working for so many years, I had a statistic also. If we look, there was a question: why, what keeps the young away from social work? Lack of money, lack of time, lack of interest. So till the time we keep on thinking to do something big, I do small things, and that is making the difference. शायद बाहर at this age, agar we see the total population of our country, 60% of our population is in the 30s. This is the perfect age when you people should come in front and think this is our social responsibility. We are there to change our country. If we take it, it will make a difference. I ask my son every day to give 2 chapatis to anybody outside my house. This is not a big thing I am doing. I won't be bringing any change, but I am giving a thought to him. Why my mother is asking me every day to give 2 chapatis when 2 chapatis won't serve many people, but definitely it will serve one person who's really hungry, who doesn't have anything to eat. Definitely it will suffice his hunger. I'm just trying to inculcate that feeling of giving. What is social work? It's very simple. That gives you a satisfaction when you do something, what somebody, but without anything getting in return. That is social work. The beauty of social work, the best way to find yourself, to lose yourself for others. When you really want to do something for others, you don't need to step out. You can be at your place, at your house. Try to do small things for your servants. Long time back, I used to hear, each one teach one. You people are youth. You are the future of the country. Country needs you, and it's vice versa. You need the country. So if both of you need each other, why? It's the high time to get out of your cocoons, get out of your place, and do something big. Time. Nobody has the time, but COVID-19 has taught us we have so much of time. We never gave time to the family. We never gave time to our friends. Every time we had an excuse to tell. टाइम कहाँ है, समय कहाँ है, हम बहुत बिजी हैं, पर COVID-19 suddenly shut down everything. It brought a full stop in our life when a break was put and we were consolidated in our houses with our families. And that time we realized, oh, my boy has grown so big. My father needs some more time from me. My wife or my husband is really waiting behind for me, and do so many good things and different things to make our house keep running. And started realizing. Goyalji said we had a very bad year, 2020, but I never considered that thing to be a bad year. No, nothing is bad in our life. 2020 made us realize, do justice to everything, do justice to the environment. Environment has given us a big bash. We never cared for environment. So when environment got a chance, he never cared for us also. आपको जो हो, हम क्या जाने? You never. You were not there to plant trees. You were not there to clean the rivers. You were not there to make water conservations. You just wanted and wanted and wanted. You never had that feeling of giving. Social work teaches you to give and wants nothing in return. That is a satisfaction. See, the theory of social work is changing. When we started working in our 70s, it was something like we just wanted to help somebody. But we never had that thing of new thing that what you guys have today. It's the technology. You have the power of technology. If you yourself can't work, you can make apps. You are in the MNCs where in last few years, even the government has started. They have to give their CSR as 2%. So you can collaborate. You are the source. You have to reach to the people who need those sources. So if the youth involves in these kind of things, the work of considering social work won't be a thing where people think if you don't have anything, you do social work. You are not into a profession, you are not very educated, then go for a social work. No, things have changed. People have started making the careers in it. Now people have started earning like what engineers, doctors have started earning. So why can't we teach our kids? Leave NEET, leave IIT. Even those professions are good. I don't say that. But considering social work as a career can really change many people's life. And that gives a great satisfaction. The biggest thing. What at the end of life, even you guys struggle for? Satisfaction, for happiness, for money. These are the three things we are striving for. And the new career, the new avenue of social work is giving you the same thing. So start promoting your kids, start promoting your friends, start promoting young children in your family. Even this is a new avenue where you can think, you can move. Democracy, you are the owners. You have some onus on your shoulders. Time to give back to the society, to the country. African philosophy, Ubuntu, if you people have heard, which says we are there to give. They never do anything for themselves. Nelson Mandela is a very big example, where he found the country is in bad condition. There's nobody to help. He came out. He brought a revolution. So you guys, the youth of the country, can bring a very big revolution. But before bringing that revolution, you have to feel and you have to understand what is the importance. Forget the old stinky things where people used to think कि एक पुराना सा स्कूल होगा, rusted building hogi where the teachers would be teaching to the slum kids or the underprivileged society people. No. Now the things have changed, like the world is changing. Now here, even you can develop some apps for them to teach. You can fetch out little time from your profession. Wherever you are working, I'm not saying that you should leave your job to promote social work. No, keep on doing your job, keep on earning, but try to inculcate one thing, that a portion of my time, my money, I have to fetch out for somebody else. Because today, what you are giving to the society, society returns back you with the interest. So when we can deposit our money in the bank and get the interest and get happy that we deposited 100 and we are getting 110. So why aren't we ready to invest the same amount of our education, what we have learned in the bank of society, which would be giving you more than the interest you would be getting in the bank? Because the level of love, the level of satisfaction you get after doing a small things. Don't plan for big things. Plan for the small things. Try to educate one child and ask your friends. Try to join those NGOs who are doing. If you are not able to create your NGO, if you don't have a very big group, try to join your city NGOs or people who are already working on these lines. And you can promote them by giving your best. So these are the things. And social work doesn't have any age limit. Young hai, elder hai, old hai, any age people can. But when we are talking about the role of youth, so it's very important that youth should understand this is the right time. Because by the age of 40s, or when you are in the 50s, when you say this is the time when I want to relax and I want to help people, you would be very late. Because change of society doesn't come in one day. It takes a decades to change. So by the time you start changing, your time would be up and you would be feeling, काश मैंने ये कुछ पहले किया होता. ये जरूरी नहीं कि आपकी उम्र क्या है. ये बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं कि आपकी उम्र क्या है. ये जरूरी है कि आप किस उम्र की सोच रखते हैं. So this is the perfect time to come out from your shells and say, कि हाँ, we want to change the society and we are ready for it. Try to make groups. Try to fetch your friends and say कि एक संडे कैसा बनाएंगे जहां हम बाहर जाते हैं. Try to teach those kids who are around you and see, and you will find कि we would be out from those shells and bringing a change. Because education is one thing which society will change. So society is waiting for a big change, and that big change is on your shoulders to be brought in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devpriya, for giving such a motivational thoughts today. I'm sure all our youths who are attending here in person, plus those who are watching, are being motivated. And one very important point which you have raised is really very appreciable. That is the bank of society. Yes, if we will do something for the society, whatsoever we are doing, we are just depositing in that bank, and it will come back in the pursuit of our happiness, satisfaction, and that is what we require. And one clarification I would like to also give, when you have said that about the last year, why I said the last year is bad, although the last year has given lots of opportunities, but we have lost 1.84 million people till now globally, and we have lost almost 1.5 lakh people in India. By sacrificing these many lives, if we are learning about the giving the respect to nature or with our family, I think the cost is too high. So that's why I said it is bad. Otherwise, if we will even learn now and we will continue this in future, that how to respect the nature and how to give respect to your own family and the society, then only we have learned something with this pandemic. Thank you very much, Ms. Devpriya, for giving your very, very motivational, inspirational thing. I'm sure everyone is benefited, including me. Now, I would like to invite my youth guest one by one. And my first youth guest whom I am calling is, he is Mr. Dheeraj Lobo. Mr. Dheeraj Lobo, please unmute yourself, and you have to introduce yourself and you have to give your thoughts about the role of youth in social service, and your time is for 5 minutes. You have to speak. Mr. Dheeraj Lobo, please.
So I'm Dheeraj Lobo, and I'm currently working as a freelance content writer in Mangalore. Yeah. So moving on, I would like to start off on the topic by sharing my experience in the field of social service. So growing up, I was someone who was always interested and enjoyed volunteering and helping people. So it was in college, I think during my second or third year, during the midterm break, I got the opportunity to intern and teach a group of school children. Now, these school children, they belonged, or they were residing in a home for children. So if it's a home for children, they are away from their family. They're taken care by certain caretakers, and they have their peers for connection and support. So I went there with my friend, and during this time, it was for about a month, and our role was to train these kids in the field of academics. So mainly we covered subjects like maths, English, and also we conducted some value-based activities and games for them. So at the end of this experience, we all sat down and we shared what each of us gained. So I noticed that it was a win-win situation for both the students and us, the people who trained them. The students, if I paid attention, they developed their confidence, creativity, imagination, their thinking was expanded. They became so much more confident. And more than that, they brought in this new energy where they were so satisfied and happy that they learned something new. So this new energy was absolutely fascinating for us. And for us, for the people who train them, we also develop skills, like important skills through this on-field experience, namely time management, decision making, responsibility, emotional connection. And what I can say is, more than anything, more than being a teacher, being a student, we created friends. We made friends and established a certain relationship. So that was very powerful for me. So now, the role of the youth in social service. Now, we are people with a lot of energy, with a lot of enthusiasm, and more than anything, we possess a certain skill set. Now, we all hear people saying we need to channel that in the right direction. We need to, use our time and energy in the right manner. So I feel this experience that I went through did justice to that. And this was on-field experience more than sitting in a classroom and learning something. This was on-field experience that gave me these important life skills. And more than anything that I gained, I was able to enhance the skill set that I had. And the following year, where I trained school children in public speaking, this is the job that I got. I was able to handle and understand school children much more easily. So I was very grateful to this one experience. Now, what according to me is our role in society, the role of the youth? So we want a certain outcome. We want society to function in a certain way. We want a certain reality. Now, that is only possible for us if we involve ourselves and take action. Now, it's not just about saying something, posting something, or promoting something. It's about involving and being on the field, taking action, doing something. Like Devpriya ma'am mentioned as well, her entire journey has been one where she took small steps, actionable steps, and that led to something big. So it is our responsibility as well to start small and then dream big and then impact. So we know a lot of people who are impacting on a bigger scale. They all started small. So it is that first step that we need to take. So I feel there are a couple of things that we can do, which I would like to mention here. One is to take initiative. We all now want to be our own bosses. So why not start a project of our own, take initiative by ourselves and create something new? Maybe create a community of writers or a group of musicians who train other students. It could be on a voluntary basis. This is something we could do. And there are communities and organizations out there that we could collaborate with. Now, collaborations take place and it is much easier and much effortless as well. So this is another thing we can involve ourselves in. And most importantly, there are communities out there looking for people with a certain skill set, be it people who can bring in their leadership, people who can bring in their talents of music, of dance, of teaching, subjects, academics. So reaching out to these communities and connecting and meeting these people is something of importance too. So I would finally like to end with a quote that I really liked. It is by Edward Everett Hale. And he said, "I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do." Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lobo, for giving your views. Yes, we must congratulate you that you have started the work, social service at this age. And I'm sure that if everyone will take this type of initiative, as our chief guest, Ms. Devpriya, has mentioned, that this is the right age, we must, if the youth will take a plunge in this particular field, the day will not, they will not be far when we don't require social service, because if there will be no underprivileged or those who are not that much privileged in the society, if we will serve them, if we will educate them, tomorrow they can also go up to any height. And this is the right time. And COVID has at least taught this lesson, that whether a person is a moneyed person, whether he's a poor, whatsoever status he is having in society and nothing, everyone is equal. So when this thing has come, why not help, which you are doing? I'm sure you continue doing this. Thank you very much, Mr. Lobo, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Grisha Rajesh Salian. Miss Grisha Rajesh, you have heard what our chief guest, Ms. Devpriya, as well as the earlier panelist has spoken. So now we would like to know from you the role of youth in social service. Ms. Grisha Rajesh Sailen, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am, and everyone present here. I'm Grisha Rajesh Salian. I'm studying in Madhu Kripa School, Manipal. I'm doing my 11th. Role of youth in social services. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. As ma'am has told, the beauty of social service, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, which was quoted by Mahatma Gandhi ji. It requires determination and dedication. Services are done not for credits, but for abundance of joy, happiness, and most importantly, peace of mind. Huge respect to those who serves our country, which goes unnoticed and unrecognized. We, the youth, are important because we are going to be the future citizens. We need to participate to achieve the goals and help in taking the country towards progress. Taking part or providing service need not always be a profession. It can always be a side order of our profession. Small things sometimes mean a whole lot. And when I say this, we can do the following steps. We can do the following things. We can speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Provide helpline to the people who are in need. For example, if someone is fallen down in the street, just make sure you go and ask that person how is his or her condition, and just provide a bottle of water. Even by doing such small thing, you're providing some service to the nation. We can address social problems to the respective authorities. We can teach some sort of professional things with no expectation of financial return. We can make sure we visit an orphanage at least once a year and have a look at their lives. Raising funds for their education, providing medical facilities, or distributing food. When we can spend 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees on our clothes, branded new clothes, why can't we contribute at least 1,000 rupees to an orphanage which can fill their stomach? The joy and peacefulness you receive by social service is just priceless. If your act can make a child smile, then you are the happiest person in the world. And this is exactly what I meant. Sometimes small things mean a whole lot. I'm studying in a school where I have been taught and been taking part in a Seva project. Every week we used to do some sort of activity which is reused by other materials, such as excess pages from our previous notes we had taken and made a new book. And this book was contributed to people who could not afford to have a book. And all these initiatives have been taken in my school. All this should start from having a thoughtful discussion at home, in schools, colleges, colony gatherings, or any other platforms where you have been given the opportunity to talk, to express your views and opinions. We can just start by small things such as giving away the excess food to the uh, home servers of our house, to the people who clean in our house. If food is remaining, instead of throwing it, we can just pack it up and just give it to them. At least it will help them in a it will help them to fulfill their stomach on that particular day. Values we learn from it are: we build up our personality, we become more friendly to the environment and to the people in the country. So the values we learn are service, dignity and worth, importance of relationships, integrity, and social justice. Be the change you wish to see in the world. If we cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grisha, for giving your views. You have mentioned that if you see someone lying on the road, one should go and offer a glass of water. But what it was practically, is it happening? The practically it is happening is that the youths are busy just making the film on their mobile and putting on the WhatsApp groups, on the Facebook, that this thing happened on this particular road, and just highlighting it. If youth will go and help them, really help them, as you have mentioned, by offering water or taking them to the hospital if required, then the real social services, not by just clicking and putting in the on the WhatsApp group or the social media and highlighting that, see, on this road, busy junction, this and happened, and nobody is coming to the help. If you yourself will not go to the help, then why we expect the others to come? But anyway, good thoughts. I'm sure that if these are applicable in practical, definitely the society will change and the mindset of the youth will change. Thank you very much, Ms. Grisha, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Farhan Bashir.
Respected teachers, friends, and well-wishers. This is me, Mohammed Farhan Bashir from University of West London. So today I'm here with the topic on role of youth in social service. When we hear the word youth, the very first thing comes to our mind is energetic. The group of people who want positive change in their family, society, community, and all over development in their country. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This was quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. The service which you are giving without expecting anything in the return is called social service. We do service not for getting credit, but for peacefulness and fulfillment of mind. We all may be familiar with the country South Africa. It was a democratic ruling country and it had apathy. So they were lacking a leader. So a man rolls into the occasion. He was called as Nelson Mandela. Because of his immense determination and dedication, South Africa finally got its freedom. We know all the fact of a man being social, but the possessiveness and selfishness hold back from doing social service. This uncertain scenario must change, and we should spread the gospels of social service. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bashir. You have given your views. I think the net is a problem, so and whatsoever you have made it very nice. Now I would like to call the next youth guest. She is Miss Khatija Amna. What's your good name? You just introduce yourself, your name, how you pronounce it.
My name is Khatija Amna.
Okay. And you please introduce yourself and then speak. Yeah.
Okay, good morning to everyone watching. As I said, my name is Khatija Amna. I am currently a student at the University of West London, and I am studying BSc Honours Computer Science in Ras Al Khaimah, UAE. Social services are services provided by government, private, profit, or non-profit organizations in the field of education, healthcare, and housing, among other necessities that are provided for the benefit of the community. Now, these services are undertaken by selfless individuals who intend to uplift the lesser privileged parts of society, bring equal services and opportunities to all, promote societal growth, and strengthen the community spirit or the community itself. Now, some examples of such social services may include therapy and treatment in negligent or violent circumstances for children, subsidies for food and housing, healthcare and drug plans, career training, and programs for adoption and foster care. Now, today our topic focuses on the role of the youth in social service. The youth of the society are the core of any change. It is at this age when we are at our highest potential, where our creativity, innovation, and mindsets are at their peak. So how can the youth contribute directly towards society? Some ways are visiting villages during vacations to promote education, raising awareness on issues regarding social evils, working for non-governmental organizations, etc. Now, a nation's youth is like a potent, untapped resource that goes to waste if left stagnant, like unfortunately a lot of nations do. If a society is to achieve prosperity in the fields of health, finances, science, technology, and innovation, the youth of that nation must be utilized properly. They must be introduced to leadership roles and allowed to provide meaningful output that changes the course of the nation for the better. They must be prepared to lead instead of the older, more rigid generations that have been for years and years. For a nation to succeed, it needs well-trained, well-informed, and accountable leaders. Young people possess the power to correct the errors and failures of past leaders and transform the mindset of their community. For citizens to understand growth, gender equality, and equitable distribution of resources, young people must do away with vices such as corruption, self-centered, and covetous leadership. The youth must also uphold the values founded by other leaders, helping society or the nation to achieve its visions in the future. Now, since young people are an integral part of the future of our society, they need to be motivated, advised, trained, and shown the way to go to ensure that hopes and visions are achieved. However, a focus on the youth should not mean complete disregard for the past. As a society, we must take care not to let our culture fade away, and that is why elders show us what to do and what not to do. At the end of the day, what is important is inculcating values of selflessness and the importance of community service into the youth from a very young age. And this can start from the bare minimum by going out of one's way to perform selfless acts of kindness for others. For example, Miss Devpriya had mentioned she encourages her son to give away just 2 chapatis to someone, anyone in need every day. Now, an act as simple yet thoughtful as this may not bring about a groundbreaking change in just a day, but the thought matters. That is what will help to cement that selfless mindset in that young child. And like that, we can move our way forward one step at a time until eventually equality can and will be established on national and perhaps even international levels. Now, in conclusion, the youth is the best hope for mankind. Any future goals of success, prosperity, and peace require their participation. If a society aims to develop, it needs to involve them in the development program, and the youth can and will bring about great changes in society. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Khatija Amna, for giving very thought-provoking views about the youth. The only thing is that youth need not to wait for the older generation to bring them to do some social service. The youth should participate themselves. Then the change can come. If the youth will wait, some elders will or some leaders will ask us to do this work, then only we'll do. That will not work, because now the time, as everybody is mentioning, the future, I say it's a present, is also belongs to youth. When you are the leaders today and tomorrow, you have to think yourself. After all, the entire world belongs to the youth now. And once you will start thinking, I have to do this thing, you need not to wait for any teacher or the parents or the elders to guide you. You can do so many things. When our chief guest has mentioned that this youth is more privileged than the older generation because of the technology. And so the technology is there with you. You can do anything. And as our chief guest, Ms. Devpriya, has suggested that you can come out with some apps which can also help those persons who are in need. Like many are running, the youths are running the blood donations app, where they can immediately, if anybody requires blood donation, they can just log in and immediately the donors are ready to donate the blood. Similarly, many other ways, if as you have mentioned that one can go and help. So there are so many things can be done. But anyways, very nice views. Thank you very much, Ms. Khatija Amna, for giving your views. Thank you very much. Now I would like to move to our next youth guest, and he is Mr. Nishan N. Mr. Nishan N. Are you there? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nishan, and you have heard our chief guest, Ms. Devpriya. You have heard the earlier panelist. Now we would like to know your views, the role of youth in social service. First, you introduce yourself and then give your views. Mr. Nishan, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rotractor Nishan, International Service Director of Rotract Club of Mangalore City, and currently pursuing law from SDM Law College, Mangalore. Before going to today's topic, I would like to quote, youth are not useless, they are useless. Youth are not careless, but cared less. There are over 1.8 billion young people in the world today, 90% of whom live in developing countries. There are more than 235 million youth in India and 225 million in China alone. The definition of youth varies according to application of the term, and there is no agreed age range of people who belong in this category. UNESCO describes youth as those who are beyond the dependent childhood but have not yet reached the independence of adulthood. It refers to an action undertaken voluntarily to help us. Most of the time of a youth is wasted in idle gossip, in roaming, in fruitless work. It is better to utilize the power of youth in socially productive work than to squander our time in loitering at the marketplace or before theatre hall. Youth can reach others through social media, participate in campaigns, join a youth organization. Inspiring young people is one of the most brilliant ways to make a difference. Is to encourage others to join a youth organization. The modern India should be educated. In India, most of the people are still illiterate. This illiteracy is the bane of our national life. The picture is still darker in rural areas where the people are steeped in poverty, ignorance, and all sorts of superstitions. It is the duty of the youth to come to support of these poor people, educate them, make them enjoy fruits of the freedom. The modern India should have all the knowledge in health and agriculture. In the countryside, most people are agriculturists. They must be taught even new agricultural science to high yielding seeds and proper manures. Even the use of new technology should be brought so that they can safely enter the 21st century. The youth are aware about sanitation, hygiene, female feticide, elderly care, and other social issues. They must come out to help them in distress and help them realize their. My opinion is instead of working alone as youth, we can make a group or team of people of like mindset. As Greece quoted, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. They can work in group by forming NGOs. NGOs in India are of various types, which are registered under Indian Trust Act as of 1882 or Registration Act 1860 or the Companies Act 2003. Societies Registration Act, at least we need 7 members. A charitable trust requires at least 2 people, no maximum member limit. A non-profit company can be registered with the Register of Companies under Section 8 of the Companies Act. Companies registered this act are all not for profit. Starting an NGO requires more than just money. It requires hard work, determination, and a desire to support others. To start and run an NGO is an almost similar process to run a company. But here you have to keep transparency. Moreover, here you have to work for the welfare of the society without expecting any profit. Once all the documents are ready and the required fees submitted, you can get your NGO registered under as mentioned earlier. Once your NGO has registered, it's time for you to start collecting funds to run the NGO. Get connected, build a network, get connected to various other NGOs, professionals, government agencies, and corporate. Believe in cause you support. If you want to become a social worker from India, then start finding the cause for which people are fighting for. Once you find the cause, then you can start making your efforts to solve the cause. Secondly, you can think about your ability and what you can do best for the society. Like if you are a good caring person of children and you love to support them, we can go ahead to start a free orphanage. You cannot be a licensed social worker in India because in India yet it has not been licensed as a profession of social work. unlike abroad. But you can definitely take up a bachelor's or master's in social work from well recognized educational institute. Youth is real power of the nation. Youth has the power to make or break the society. So I would like to thank this wonderful opportunity. Thank you one and all, and a special thanks to Sir Goel for and allowing me to convey this opinion regarding role of youth in social service. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nishan, for giving your legal opinion and views how to register the NGO in different formats of the laws, whether it's a trust or the society or the Companies Act. But the thing is, that is fine. One should do it. But we know that our experience says when anybody wants to go to get it registered, whether it's an NGO in any of the form what you have mentioned, no one, whether it's a CA or an advocate, as you are also studying in the law, are going to help. Help means they are going to charge their fees. They will not say, why not we do it free of cost, because this is a very good social cause. If youth, and especially like you all, when you are studying in a particular field like law, and if you decide ki whatsoever anybody will approach me in life about to form an NGO, I will not charge a single penny. Or if there is a case of NGO which is in the court and which you feel that the NGO is right, you will do it free of cost. That is also a good social service. Social service can be of anything. No need of finding any cause to check what social service. Social service, you once step out, you will see lots of causes where you can do the service. But anyways, it's a very good thought which you have given, and you have given enlightened our viewers also how to start an NGO. And I'm sure that our viewers, whosoever wants to start an NGO, they can avail these types of laws provisions which are already there in our existing system. And I appeal to you, and as well as all those who are pursuing either the CA or the legal or law courses, to provide these services free of charge to the NGOs, non-profit NGOs, so that at least the initially part they can do many more things. Thank you very much, Mr. Nishan, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next guest, and my next guest is Mr. Sri Harsha. Mr. Sri Harsha, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Mr. Sri Harsha, you have heard our chief guest, Ms. Priya. You have heard all the earlier panelists, and they have given the views, different views. Now we would like to know from you the role of youth in social service. First, introduce yourself and then give your views. Mr. Sri Harsha, please.
First of all, thanks a lot, Paul sir and Goel sir, to have given this wonderful opportunity to speak on this beautiful platform. My name is Sri Harsha, and I'm a managing director at Shine Projects. Basically, Shine Projects is an online education company, and we were also recently awarded as the best startup in India 2020. So for the purposes of this discussion, I will consider youth as a stage of life involving the transition period into adulthood. If you look at it that way, then age 15 to 25 will be considered as youth. And in India, we are lucky to have almost approximately about 1/4 of the population as youth. Okay. And coming to the social services is about creating more effective organization, building stronger communities, and promoting equality. And why should we look at youth? Why are we having this discussion at all? Is because I think youth population have this very immense energy, number one, and they come up with fresh ideas all the time, number two, and the enthusiasm levels are very high in the youth, number three, and new discoveries, whatever they can make, youth are very much capable. Now, if you look at the role of youth, I think that the pressure amongst the young crowd to improve India and rest of the world is very high. They are all on the job already. But I think, according to my opinion, that there are two aspects here. It is not only the want or a desire to improve the society. One should also have the desire and also improve their capabilities. And both are required. Not only desire is not sufficient, or only capability without desire is not enough. So I've made a list of few points in which youth can consider in terms of improving their capabilities. And one such point is the technological advancements that are happening in our country. If I restrict the discussion to our country first and then move on to rest of the world, so the first point I feel is the technological developments that are happening in the country. So we should involve more, the youth has to involve more in terms of learning more aspects. That way you will improve your capability. And our country is also coming up with various space programs, and also if you develop your keen interest towards that side, so you will improve your capability. First, if you improve the capability, then the chance of educating others and improving their capability will come up. And I don't know, in India we also do not have that inclination towards politics. Politics are greatly improving in India, so I think youth also have to step in that direction, where you develop that interest towards the politics. And also tax system is taking a great improvement these days. Our taxation and everything is improving, so if we build that knowledge, because many people are now very much inclined towards learning the chartered accountancy, getting into that line, where to cope up with the tax changes and all, they have lots of jobs and freelancing work that can be done. And these are the good aspects where youth can step in and improve their capability. If you look at the bad aspects where youth can desire to do something, I think the bad aspects that we have currently are the improper education that we have. And youth has to step in and associate, like ma'am has been telling, and Goels are also stressed upon. It is not about starting something big. We can start something very small. So whatever we learn in terms of imparting that education to others by associating with the NGOs, though if we cannot start our own NGO, we can associate with the existing NGOs and start whatever we can start in a very small manner. And casteism and religion feelings, I've seen so many youth also talking about which caste you belong to, which religion, and trying to associate only with those kind of castes and only your religion, which is not good. We have to come out of those things, which the change I think has to occur within the youth itself. And also considering the health condition in rural parts, if we happen to go towards the rural parts, okay, we have to try and educate them as to how they can live their life with much more hygiene. And also child labor is very rampant in India, if you look at it especially. And we also have to have that whistleblowing attitude, because there are so many legislations and all which prohibit this, but somehow we are also having certain a little bit of blind eye towards the child labor, and we have to inculcate certain whistleblowing attitude which can help come out of this scenario. And there's a lot of gender bias that also in the youthhood itself, in that age itself, you have to come out of this feeling. So when we become adults, then these problems will be resolved. Women literacy, it is said that in India 2080, it will take until 2080 for the poorest of the poor women to be educated. So that's a very long time. We should see how we can contribute to the illiteracy of women, especially in the rural parts. And brain drain is also very high in terms of we being educated here to work for the companies that are abroad. In the youthhood itself, we have to tune our mindset towards upbringing our country, in which case we should look at opportunities that's why I was talking about improving the capabilities more. So whatever innovation we can bring in our country itself. And poverty is also a very huge problem. Devpriya ma'am has also stressed on this poverty. It's better to give just about 2 chapatis, and imagine if everybody has that attitude, then how many hungry human beings can be fed. And most importantly, I think the problem that we are facing currently is very high inflation and savings being very less. And youth also have to work towards attaining financial literacy. While there are various programs and everything that are aimed at providing literacy in various other aspects, but financial literacy, economics, finance, financial literacy is somehow, we don't focus much on that in the youthhood especially. And I'm very proud to tell everybody that I've started this organization called Shine Projects during the advent of lockdown in the month of May. And we are promoting financial literacy. And we're also doing some very great things in terms of offering paid internships to the students, where we are able to pay to the students and also make them industry ready. Currently, we are also training students on HR, marketing, and various other aspects. Currently, the focus has been on management students, and we are also moving into IT as well. So this financial literacy, our object, the company that we are running is aimed at providing financial literacy at a very less fare, because we also have to survive. It is not that we don't want to give a lot of knowledge for free of cost, but because we also have to survive, so we collect very nominal fees from the customers. And the fees that we collect from customers, we also utilize a lot of that money in terms of paying stipends to the interns and then making the interns industry ready. So may God help us in terms of achieving greater heights in this. And I'm also very proud that I'm working for a local NGO here based out of Hyderabad in terms of providing language sessions to the students. So my conclusion is very simple here, is a lot of things youth has to focus on bringing up the capabilities, number one, within ourselves before we try to empower the others. And in that, we also have to focus on good things where as a country we are growing, and to identify our interests and incline ourselves to being a part of the development, so we can learn many things. And once we are educated and we are capable enough, then our desire, where all we can desire also I have quoted, so we can work in a very small fashion, very small way. As Devpriya ma'am said, the start can be very small. You don't have to think very big to become great. So with all the improved capabilities and by having desires in which we are having certain weak aspects of the society, we can serve in a very good way for social cause. Thanks a lot, sir, for this very good opportunity. And,
okay, thank you very much, Sri Harshaji. And you have mentioned that you have given lots of points, and the main focus is that the policies are to be changed so that the youth can be involved. But you should understand, one should understand that who are the policymakers, the politician. And in India, basically the youth definitions, actually the youth definitions differs from country to country. In India, the youth is from 15 years to 45 years. And in that way, we have 65% of population which are called youth. And that's why India is supposed to be the youngest country in the world with the maximum young people staying here. But the unfortunate part is, in politics, the first parliament, we were having 26% MPs who were below 45 years. And this present parliament, we are having only 12% of MPs. Now, what you are saying that you require the changes. These changes cannot come unless the policymakers, unless youth will not participate in the politics seriously, come forward and take the charge. But they are not interested. They are ready to talk. They are ready to gossip on WhatsApp and Facebook, everything. They are ready to criticize, but they are not ready to take the responsibility. So just to say something and to do something, there's a lot of difference. But I'm sure now if youth will take part actively in politics, come in the power, take the decisions, because right now all the policies are made for the youth, not by the youth. Because 12% in the democracy is nowhere. We require, once you are 65%, at least 65% you should be there in parliament and the assembly. Then only you can find lot of changes, whatsoever you have said can be implemented thoroughly. Thank you very much, Sri Harsha, for giving your thought-provoking views. Now I am going to the last panelist, and she is Miss Priyanka Bhatt. Miss Priyanka Bhatt, you have heard what our chief guest, Miss Devpriya, has mentioned, as well as all the earliest panelists. Now we would like to know from you.
The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. A very good morning to the respected dignitaries present over here and all of them. So myself, Priyanka, pursuing LLB in SDM Law College, Mangalore. So as ma'am mentioned that what is the thing, what is the youth can do for the social services? Let me tell you something that, yeah, I feel very proud that I take part in this field, in this social services, directly or indirectly, right? As ma'am mentioned that we can do this from your home itself by giving food, by giving the remaining good food to the people or the needy poor people. Yes, of course, I do follow this. I do give the remaining foods to the needy people. Yes. Then coming up to the next is, we do follow a 5 rupees revolution in our college, where normally we'll collect the monies, that is at least a minimum of 5 rupees from the students per month, and just collect it, and we will just help in paying the fees of the needy poor people, right? That is the one where I am directly involved in that, and I feel very happy that by giving the awareness, yeah, of course the youths can go and give the awareness to the schools, to the NGOs, or you can share your knowledge so that the children gets an idea, like what are the things you have to do, or what are the things you are not supposed to do. So on those topics you can just go and give, and you can motivate them too, right? The next is that we can create the youths can create a group, like behalf of chatting or behalf of sending any WhatsApp message. You can create a group, and where you can discuss, like where you can plan the only people who have that motivation in their mind of helping others. You can take them, and you can just plan what the works or what the service you can give for the society, right? Next is that where you can just go visit the like you can visit the anath ashram, old age home, and you can spend time with them. The people feel very comfortable when old people feel very comfortable when you give services, like you can just speak to them, or you can share something, so that it's a type of social service what you do. And these are the basic social service you can engage. And the next thing what the youth can do is, yeah, of course you can raise your voice against the corruption, and even against the violation against the women. So you can take part, like you can I can just I can just take this advocate profession as social worker together, because normally advocates hear the complaints and give their file the suit, and just fight for the clients. Even in this social service too, you can hear the complaints, and you can just guide them to what way you can go. So I can just compare these both things. Next, coming to the main, like just an example what I want to give for the youths. What you might have heard about Lakshmi Agarwal, that is a chapak film. That is, when she was in the age of 15 years, there was an acid attack on her, and where in the next year she filed a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court regarding the sale of acid. Why such thing happened? Like, why that thought came into her mind? This is because such an incident should not be happened with any other people. So she took up that concept in her mind, and she went for the Supreme Court to file the suit against this sale of the acid. And of course, she has won in the 2013. The judgment was passed by the Supreme Court, where there was certain restrictions in order to get the acid by the dealers, right? Here, where why she has done all these things, it is one type of a social service what she has dedicated, what she has given. In such a people can go for this type of social work, or I can say it's such a motivation what she has given. Why not us? Why not we can do this social service? So at last, I would like to end by saying that आपके कर्म ही आपकी पहचान है, वरना एक नाम का हजारों लोग होते हैं. Of course, if you do your work, you get a recognition. Otherwise, you may not get so, because there are certain names, there are many names of yourself, like your name. There are many people, but you will get recognition only when work is done. It might be in favor of the society. So I can give a live example of Devpriya ma'am itself. Of course, she has done lots of work where she has got a recognition. That's it. Yeah, of course. I would like to conclude by saying that thank you for Lal Goel sir and Global TV for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views. You have raised about the old age home. I had a program done with very famous Dandiya queens and playback singer Preeti Pinky, and they says they are also doing lots of work for old age home, but their views are different. They says we are creating awareness why the old age homes exist. This is the responsibility of youth. Why the old people are sent to a old age home. Instead of encouraging old age home, we must see to it that every home should be a old age home. We must not discard our older generation. And they have given a very good example. That is, when the child says 10 times in the night, awakes and say something, nobody, the parents never have any problem. But if a older pupil says something even twice, the youth feel very irritated. I am sure that all youth must take care of their older generation. So no one should go to the old age home. And if we will do that, similarly, orphanage. We are thinking of orphanage because many of the children are there where their parents, living parents, have left them. Few are there where their parents are not existing. But why? So we have to change the mindsets of the society. If you will change the mindset of the society, if the respect to the parents will be given, nobody will go to the old age home. But thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views and about the PIL which we have mentioned. Yes, definitely there are many PILs which have benefited the country and the society at large. So we want that you people, those who are in the this legal profession, they must take up those PIL, but please do it free of charge, which should be a public interest litigation, not a private interest litigation. Then only the purpose will be served. Thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views. So now I would like to go back and invite our chief guest, Ms. Devpriya. Ms. Devpriya, you have heard all the youths. The 7 youths have given their views, how they think the youth can be involved in the social work. And they are very energetic. You have heard yourself. Now, we would like to know the concluding remarks from you about what you have heard and what you want to tell them so that they can be motivated further, although you have already given lots of motivation, but further they can be motivated. Ms. Devpriya, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was really very enlightening listening all the speakers, all the 7 speakers. Sabse pehle, if I start with, it was Dheeraj logo. Be the boss of yourself. That logo itself is very nice. It's really, if you are good in something, try to teach those things to others. That would really help the society. Girish Rajesh, alone we do very little, but together we can do big things. Very true, Grijasha. If we try to do something alone, we are going to help 1 or 2, 3 people only. But together we can help the society, we can help the country, and we can help the world too. Amna, you said you are the accountable leaders. So it's very true. You are the youth who are going to be the accountable leaders. You are going to frame the new rules and regulations for the society where you can prove yourself by doing small and big things to change the society. Nishan, a road tractor. Really, it was really nice listening to you. You also told how to form an NGO and what to do. Shri Harsha, time to learn more technologies and get into new avenues. Your ideas, your thought was really awakening. And last, Priyanka. Your 5 rupee revolution was really interesting because I could remember when my grandfather used to ask me to put 1 rupee coin in the gullak. And it was very mandatory for us to put. Doesn't make any difference. After 365 days, we used to get only 365 rupees. But he used to ask me to donate that 365 rupees to some needy who really need that. And it was just 365 rupees for me. And it's so simple to say just 365. But to whomsoever I used to give that 365 bucks, used to give such a big smile, and that smile used to make me feel really great. And the acid victim story which you narrated, it's really very true. This is the crux of the thing. Conflict is the genesis of the creation. Whenever there's no conflict, when we don't want to fight for anything, we can't create anything. What makes the young people so special in this context? You guys make the difference. When you try to create a new order of the world, where these problems shouldn't exist, then you need to solve these conflicts. You need people who can challenge the status quo, challenge the friction norms. At that juncture of time, young people are great at it. You young people who can make the difference, who will make the difference. So we need more and more young people to participate actively, not only actively participate at the time of casting the votes. No, active participation in the change of society, in the growth, in the development of the society. Join the hands with the people who are already doing it by joining them, by contributing your time, your support, your work, whatever you can do for them. Understand, they are fighting your battle. They are fighting the battle which you care about. Actively participating is going to be key to actual happening. It's the thing. If you really participate, if you really devote your little bit of time, that can change everything. I know solving systematic problem won't be easy because it takes, earlier also I said, things won't change in one night. They take time. They take decades to change. But all the people who are trying to do this come under one shed. Share your vision, share your goals, share your identity, and then solve these problems. And it is possible. It's very much possible and inevitable. And then by concluding, I would like to say, निगाहों में मंजिल थी, निगाहों में मंजिल थी, गिरे और गिरकर संभलते रहे. हवाओं ने बहुत कोशिश की, हवाओं ने बहुत कोशिश की, मगर चिराग अंधेरों में भी जलते रहे. हमारे देश के, हमारे समाज के आप सब बच्चे एक चिराग हो जो हमेशा जलते रहोगे. और यही चिराग की, आपने सुना होगा छोटे छोटे से जुगनू होते हैं, जब वो सब मिल जाते हैं तो वो इतनी रोशनी कर देते हैं कि एक बल्ब की भी जरूरत नहीं होती. आप सब जुड़िए. Try to get together and try to make the difference together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Devpriya. And I am sure today's episode, you have given so much value for our program that it has reached to a height, because the motivation which we require and the work you have done, and that is why you have been recognized right now in Jhansi, but I am sure everywhere you will be recognized, because work speaks, and the work you are doing with heart, not by brain. Because if you are talking to someone by brain, it is different, but if you are talking by heart, it is a different thing. And I'm sure all the youths who have spoken today are very much enlightening, very much full of enthusiasm, and that is what we require today. And if we can serve like this, and that is the endeavor the GYAN is doing, which is the Global Youth Activity Network. Our aim is to bring the youth together along with someone who is expert in that field, so that they can be guided properly. And once they will get the guidance, they can execute the things in proper way. And that is our motto. Thank you very much, Ms. Devpriya, and thank you all the guests, youth guests today. And today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on YouTube and Facebook. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow's media conference with Lal Goel, the topic is Indian Heritage, Fact or Fiction. And the panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, One-Man Expert Commission on Labour, Government of India, Mr. R. Ramchandran Nair, IAS, Founder, Vice Chancellor, Sri Shankaracharya University, Kaladi, and former Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, as well as Ms. Sri Kumari Ramchandran, renowned author, writer, and orator, Kochi. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much. Again, Ms. Devpriya, for joining us, and thank you all my youth guests for joining us and giving your thought-provoking ideas. Thank you very much.